Hey guys, it's me Pinky. Yesterday started a new round of Kingdom Celebration. The event had quite a few changes, which I don't want to talk about in this video because we have a new dragon skill. I think the new dragon skill is very powerful, most likely one of two strongest dragon skills. I want to explain why. I want to compare it with the rally I have, so you can see it in theory, in action, on the report, how the report would change if I would have had this skill already in No Dead KVK, and I want to give you some overall numbers and explain the skill in general. This is the Kingdom Celebration, nothing unusual. Only last time we had a discount, and this time we have a new dragon skill, which is the Dragon Enraged skill. It gives you total attack reduction, stacks up to 36% in rallies. So far nothing new, so far nothing unusual. And then it also gives you the Dragon Enraged skill, which is during battle for every 10% of allies troops lost, enraged damage and chargement effect becomes 5%, stacks up to 15% in rallies. Well, 5% is obviously for +9, but 15% limit is kinda crazy, and that has a very simple reason, because if you look at when you lose how many troops and what enrage multiplier you get, well, let's talk about the enrage multiplier maybe first. It's basically you do plus X, where X is your enraged percentage. So if you have 5%, it's 5%. If you have 15%, it's 15%. And it's basically plus enraged damage. So if you are doing 100% damage with enrage, you are doing 105 or 115, or if it's +7, 103. So everything you do does 5% more damage, or 15%. Let's stick with the 15% because the 15% is the really crazy part. Your dragon does 15% more damage, as far as I can tell. I did test a bit. I did not look into it too much, so maybe this is wrong, but your dragon should also do 15% more damage. Your commanders, your troops, and since most of your awakening effects are somewhat bound to your troop damage or your commander damage or whatever, also your effects do 15% more damage. So if you now look up to the numbers, which I have listed for 5, 10 and 15%, you see if you drop to 90% of your troops, you're doing 103.5% of your damage. Even if you lose 10% of your troops, you will do more damage than with your full army. And if you drop to 80% troops, you will also have 104% damage. So you're still doing full damage with 20% troops lost. With 70%, you are still doing your full damage, because every time it procs, it gives you 15%, and 70% of your troops multiplied with 45% more damage is 101. And 5% more. And this obviously goes down to 10% of your troops, which will lead to the last 10% of your troops still doing 23.5% of your original damage. Your last troops are doing a bit more than double of the original damage, and this should already show you why it's kinda crazy. By the way, I have some people that I talked to that thought 15% is the limit of stacks that can this skill reach, and it's basically, from what I can tell right now, it has no limit. Crane has a skill on +7, which gives you 3%. He had 8 procs, which is 24. So I don't think there will be any limit to this listed, other than 135, which is 9 times 15%. Because you can't have less than 10% of your troops and still benefit from the proc. Speaking of which, to give a very simple example of how strong this is, here is 2 reports from Crane attacking a rebel group, and as you can see, he killed 21% more troops with just the dragon skill on and off. Without the skill, he killed 160k. With the skill, he killed 190k or 96. The difference just alone from this skill is kind of crazy. I can also tell you that this skill ignores the troops from Dragon Reinforce, so you have to lose the 60% first. Let's say you have 1,060k troops, so you lose the 60k, then your losses begin, and then every 100k you lose, you get the stack. Basically the simplest way I can explain it. It should also ignore effects like Night King, for example. So Night King gives you extra troops, and they die without proccing Enrage again. If it procs Enrage again, it's extremely more crazy, but I don't think this will be like it, and if it is like this right now, I don't think it stays like this. But I don't throw him intact with the Night King, so I'm already only guessing. Now there's a bit the question, which skill is in my mind the best? Currently, this skill will be the most needed skill overall, because I will show you a rally without this skill and will try to show you the difference if I would have this skill. 3 times plus 9, which means 50%. So I think this skill is at least on one level with Reroute. Most likely a bit better, because Reroute only affects 15% at the fight start, and you only need 2 reroutes. From the Dragon Enraged you need 3 skills, so you need more from Dragon Enraged, and the effect in my mind is bigger. So I think it's better than the Reroute skill, and if you would need to buy one now and both cost the same, and a lot of people have Reroute, I would always go for Enrage. There's still the question, is this better than Army Reinforcement? And here I would say no, because Army Reinforcement has no limit. Everyone sending 600k gets 10% more troops until your rally is full, or your reinforcement, or your solo, or whatever. The only downside Army Reinforcement has in terms of like power level from it came out to today, when it came out, army sizes were smaller than now. Every troop you get your own gets shrinks the effect of Army Reinforcement a bit, because if you have 600k troops and use this skill, you get 10% more troops. If you have 1.2 million troops, which with the 50% is kind of possible, you get 5% more troops. So you see the effect of Army Reinforcement gets weaker and weaker and weaker over time, because army sizes get bigger and bigger and bigger. Still, I think this is still the strongest, because Enraged has no real effect if you are stronger than your enemy. You need to be on the same level, so you lose troops, so you do more damage. So if you only lose like 10% troops, Enraged will of course make sure you're still doing like 10% more damage over the fight. But the biggest part of the Enraged skill is for sure when you are in an even battle or in a slightly losing battle and you have the skill and the other one does not. So I think still Army Reinforcement is the strongest, followed by Enraged. You can of course argue that Enraged in rallies is stronger than Reinforcement, and then Reroute. This would how I would rank the universal skills right now. And then I would come to an example of a new board which I have from No Dead KVK, which was kinda close, which should show very good how strong the skill is and how big the effect is. To be sure that everyone understands this correct, I will go a bit simplified on this. I will just look on how much more damage I would be doing. I will ignore the fact that if I kill more and he has less troops, I lose less. So let's take a look onto the rally now. You have to notice that I'm females, and around half my damage I'm doing in this fight is coming before I have the first Enraged pop, since a lot of my damage is in second 1, as you see, 750k, and I'm killing like another 750k until second 12, where Enraged will proc the first time, because by then he will have 10% of my troops killed. So till here everything runs normal, and after that we get the first Enraged proc, which will give us 15% more damage. And the second Enraged proc we have kinda soon, at 18 seconds, because here somewhat his weakness starts activating. He had the first commander attacks at 11 seconds, so I'm doing some damage before 11 seconds, some damage at 11 seconds, and then he does like kinda damage after 11 seconds before 21, when I'm doing my next like kinda big spike. And then my next Enraged proc is at second 22, which is after my female hit. You can notice this is kinda unlucky. You will see at second 33, where I'm doing a lot more damage. Even though I have less troops, I had a better like Layla luck in second 31, then in 21, but still. And then the next Enraged proc is at 27. As you can notice, they're going like faster now than the first one. And between 22 and 27 I killed 142k, and then the next proc is at 33. And here you might notice the first time like a big spike, because I'm killing 487k troops, and with like 4 Enraged procs I'm doing 60% more damage. So instead of 487k I'm doing 292k extra. which is combined something around, let's say, 800k, a bit less. Then the next Enraged proc is at 37, which will give me 75% more damage. So I'm killing 151 till there, from 33 to 37, which is 113k more kills. And after that, I'm not getting any extra procs anymore. But still, till second 40, I'm killing another 120k, doing 90% more damage. Thanks to Enraged means 108k more kills. So in total, I would do 682k more kills. And if you then look onto, I have 3.18 something kills, and he has 3.9. If you now take into account that he would kill a little bit less, because I'm killing more of his troops, and maybe I could be a little bit more lucky at 21, I would win this rally just with 3 more dragon skills, and I think that is like a big factor. And if you think about, I killed 3 million troops, and 1.5 of them before it procced, so we have 1.5 kills after the procs, and then you take into account that we kill 680k more. It's like 45% more damage overall just from this dragon skill. I think it's kind of insane. Enjoy playing AC, UC, CCS, KVK, everything with rallies where this skill is included will be a lot more bloody, a lot more painful. Also being sad, defenders of course proc slower than attackers, because let's say the defender has 18 million here, he needs to lose 1.8 million troops until he finally gets 1 proc, and till the end of the fight he would like barely get a second, but I'm proccing all the time, which is better I think, because he always loses troops, but his damage multiplier stays the same, and every time I lose troops I get a bigger multiplier. So this skill works of course better in offense than in defense. Same is kind of for reroute and for reinforce, because both work better with like reinforce, with more people can find 600k troops. It's hard to reinforce someone that gets rallied with more than 2 people with 600k, and reroute of course, let's say 10%. Well here reroute 500,000 troops on my side and reroute 1.7 million troops on his side. Most of the dragon skills work better offensive than defensive, but still you should have them on both sides. So enjoy getting your dragon skill.